Welcome back to our online course about expatriation. I am Damir and I will continue our lesson on today. Remember, you have signed up for class because you want to work abroad, and last time we have seen that more and more people go abroad to work as expatriate due to the increasing globalization. But today we will focus on one type of expatriate, the self-initiated expatriates. A self-initiated expatriate is an individual who is hired as a worker on a contractual basis and is not transferred overseas by a parent organization. Thus, he is an individual who found a job by himself in another country. Attention! He has to be differentiated from a sojourner who stays only for a short time in the country and from an immigrant. Thus, a self-initiated expatriate is characterized by a regular employment, self-initiated, and with a foreign nationality. There are four types of self-initiated expatriates. Let me introduce you our four guests.
Hey, my name is Youssef. I am 38 years old and I come from Syria. Before the civil war, I was an engineer working for a successful company. But then, the civil war destroyed our country. I couldn't stay with my family there and I had to escape the insecurity to protect my own children. Thus, I found a job here in Germany and I got the visa to come with my family.
Yusuf is a typical self-initiated refugee. He had to escape the insecurity of his own country and needed to work in order to feed his family. His primary intention was not concerning about a job in itself, but just on exiting his previous situation.
I'm Flora, 25 years old and come from the USA. It is my second year working in my hometown. However, I don't really want to stay here, but travel in Asia because I love Asian food, the culture, and the lifestyle there. Therefore, I applied for a job in Vietnam successfully, and now I can enjoy my time working there to travel around and learn more of the Asian culture.
Flora is a typical explorer expatriate. She took the opportunity of a job to discover a country and have adventures.
Hello, my name is Haruto and I am 46 years old. Before I moved to Germany, I have lived in a small city in Japan for the most time of my life. In Japan, I only had a very small apartment due to my low salary. This made me really unhappy for a long time, and I was trying to find a way to earn more money, to have a better lifestyle and more fun in my life. So I applied for a position as communication VP in a large company in Germany. My new job has a very high salary and my lifestyle changed completely. I can finally afford my own house and nice car now. It was a very good decision to go to Germany for work.
Haruto is a typical example for mercenary expatriates. He expatriated for financial reasons, in this case, to earn more money with his job. Mercenary expatriates are willing to even accept discomfort in order to make more money.
Hi, I'm Sophie, 28 years old and work in an investment bank in Frankfurt for 3 years. I always wanted to work for Morgan Stanley. However, I knew that without a good CV, it would be impossible for me to get hired there. I found a job in London and an important investment bank. It was an opportunity to add a significant experience to my CV. I hope that now with my professional background, I will be able to join Morgan Stanley.
Sophie is an architect as she focuses on career building. She expatriated mainly to gain a better work experience than she could have by staying in Germany. She is highly motivated to perform well in order to foster her experience and make it the most beneficial as possible. However, researchers have found out that the type of self-initiated expatriate has an impact on the work outcome. There are 3 elements to evaluate the work outcome. The first one is the work performance, characterized by the quality of the job performed. It is positively correlated to the second element, the work effectiveness. This element relies on the satisfaction of the employer towards the job accomplished by the self-initiated expatriate. Lastly, the third element is the job satisfaction. It is based on the internal emotion of the worker concerning his job experience. It can be seen as an overall assessment of the expatriation, and it shows if the adaptation to the job requirement and to the new workplace is successful or not. Thus, let's see the different work outcomes that our 4 guests have faced.
So, my intention was highly affective, as I mostly wanted to leave Syria. It was hard for me to have a control of my future job, as I took the first job available. When I started to work in Germany, I was a bit disappointed, because the work experience was not what I was expecting at the beginning. I was maybe too focused on the reason of my expatriation and not on the job in itself. I did not perform as well as I did in Syria, and my boss was not completely satisfied with my work. As a result, I didn't feel well in my job. It was a source of stress, and I was not completely adapted to their way of doing.
Yusuf is a typical refugee. His expatriation was mainly motivated by emotional reasoning, and he knew he will face issues to control the work outcome. Therefore, Yusuf faced mostly negative work outcomes, especially his work performance and work effectiveness. This is generally the case with refugees, unfortunately.
Actually, the working conditions here are not really good, and I've got a relatively low-paid job, in contrast with my job in the US, but I don't really care about it too much. I just want to feel the different cultures here and make friends with others to get unforgettable memories. The experience is fantastic to me, and I'm really satisfied with my new job.
Explorers have always effective intentions to get opportunity abroad. Due to the motive of them, it is hard to predict their work performance and effectiveness. There is a positive association between explorer reasons and job satisfaction.
I am working very hard in order to maintain my job and the high salary. I even want my wage to be increased by my boss, so I perform good every day. Since I have known exactly what I want from my new job, I had much time to plan it. Nevertheless, I love working hard, and I love spending the money I get from the work, so I love my job and my new life.
Mercenary expatriates are performing very well in their jobs and have a high work effectiveness. Furthermore, there is a positive association between mercenary reasons and job satisfaction. Their behavioral intentions are always very evaluative. In addition, they want to have full control of the outcome of their expatriation.
When I chose to expatriate myself, I had no intention to follow my emotions, but only my reason in order to build my career. Now, I am highly committed to my job. I am just working so hard in order to maximize my performance and bring the best satisfaction to my employers. Indeed, I think this is the only way that I can achieve my goal. However, it is for me really stressful and it is emotionally hard.
As an architect expatriate, Sophie made her decision on her reasoning and not on her emotion. She doesn't really pay attention to the pleasure of this experience. Therefore, she is highly dedicated to the work outcome, and thus her job performance and effectiveness is positively affected. Nevertheless, she cannot predict the job satisfaction, as she cannot know in advance if this expatriation will help her to achieve her objectives. So far, you may know about 4 types of self-initiated expatriates with different intentions and outcomes. I want to conclude with an employer point of view. The motivation to expatriate has a significant impact on the job performance and the job effectiveness. Therefore, employers should pay attention to the refugees and to the explorers, as they may not be highly efficient. However, the mercenary and the architect are highly committed to perform well, and their efficiency is high. Thus, the employer should privilege their hiring. So now that you are aware of all these parameters, choose wisely your reason to expatriate.